Well, there's music for every occasion, right? I tried to think of something for Paul's speech. This is the best I could do. So, it's time for us to help Paul, fresh from his victory at our speech contest on February 15th, fresh from defeating the demons of academia or whatever you do over there at TVCC. Please welcome Paul to give his tall tale, A Whale of a Fish Story. Paul, before I let you start, I'm going to do what I understand is the official way of introducing you, which is Paul Kraft, A Whale of a Fish Story. A Whale of a Fish Story, Paul Kraft.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I want to tell you a story about my first experience fishing up in Alaska. I was out on a boat with two very dear friends of mine, Jerry and Barbara. We were out fishing just off the coast of Juneau over by the Douglas Island, and we were fishing for salmon. And I'd never fished for salmon before. I grew up in South Dakota, and we catch bullheads, and bass, and bluegill. So I was really excited to be out there, and I was sitting on the deck and enjoying the beautiful scenery, the Chilkat Mountains to the west, Mendenhall Glacier, the Herbert Glacier, and Eagle Glacier to the right, or to the east, bald eagles circling overhead, every once in a while going down, scooping a fish up out of the ocean. Marvelous experience. All of a sudden, my experience was interrupted by my fishing pole just started going nuts, and I could tell I had something big on it. So I grabbed it. Jerry says, "You're the guest, you get to pull the first one in." So I did. I started pulling it in, and I'm working that rod and reel, and I can tell there's something big on the end of it. And sure enough, something large comes up out of the ocean, and it's a big fish. It's not small, it's a big one. Jerry says, "That's a king salmon. That's not a coho or a pink salmon, that's a king salmon." Thinking, king salmon, the king of all salmon, I'm just South Dakota boy, and here I am in Alaska catching this big fish. I was excited. So I'm reeling that thing in, and Barbara grabs a net, and she's just getting ready to swoop up that fish up out of the ocean, and all of a sudden, from the depths of the deep sea, comes something that looks like a Greyhound bus. But it wasn't a Greyhound bus, it was a humpback whale. And that humpback whale opened her mouth and clunked down on top of that salmon. My salmon! And took off for the open sea. And it pulled me around and pulled the boat around, and before I know it, we're going stern first out to the open ocean. But I work out, so I have no worry about this fish, this whale taking it up. And I give it a little line, and then I pull her. And I give her a little line, and I pull her. Eventually the whale gets tired. We're getting a little closer to the whale, and I start feeling bad about it. Thinking that whale really wants that fish. Must be hungry. Maybe needs to feed her little whalings or whatever they're called. So I tell Barbara, just cut the line. And there's other fish in the sea. We'll get them another time. So she does. She cuts the line. Started thinking about it. I kind of lost my enthusiasm for salmon fishing. I tell Jerry that. And he said, "How'd you like to try halibut fishing?" That sounds like a great idea. So we leave Douglas Island where we are, and we're head over to Shelter Island. And Shelter Island, there's a ledge that goes down on the bottom of the ocean, and the halibut like to lay there. And the tide bring the fish food that halibut eat up to them. So we go there and throw out the line, and Jerry's coaching me a little bit, and all of a sudden the fishing gods must have been smiling on me because I get a hit. And I start reeling that thing in, and I think, oh my gosh, this feels like I'm pulling something like the size and shape of and the weight of a grand piano from the bottom of that ocean floor. And I'm pulling it up, and I'm pulling it up, and all of a sudden that thing comes to the top, and it is big, and it is ugly. I don't mind the ugly part, and I really like the big part. It's bigger than anything I've ever seen. And I hear Jerry yell to Barbara, "Barbara, get the gun!" I'm thinking, gun? We're fishing, not hunting. Well, she explains to me that you have to kill these things while they're in the ocean, because once they get up on the deck, just one swat of their tail, they can break a man's leg. So I said, yeah, get the gun, kill it. Yeah, so I'm bringing it in, and she's starting to aim, and just about time that I think she's going to shoot, that thing swats his tail on the ocean and flips up onto the deck of the boat and lands right beside us. Chaos ensued. Jerry yelling and swearing like he does when he gets excited. Barbara's shooting at the fish, and I'm trying to get out of the way. And I grab an oar and I'm beating that thing, and I break the oar. Eventually, we subdue the fish, and I survey the damage. One dead fish, that's good. Holes in the bottom of the boat because the bullet didn't stop in the fish, and ocean coming up through the boat, not good. Bullet holes going into our motors, the two motor engines that we had. Gas and oil leaking all over, and no noise coming out of those motors, and that's not good either. But I work out. So I jump back into the ocean, and I put my hand up against the stern of the boat, and I'm thinking, we'll get 7.5 miles to get to the marina. So I swim along, out of the ocean. When I've done battle with the salmon, I've taken on a whale, and I've overcome a halibut. I'm tired. And about time I'm ready to just give up. Up from the bottom of the ocean comes a humpback whale. And she puts her hump right on the back of the boat, right on the other side of the engine. And the two of us take it all the way up to the marina. And that was the end of a perfect day of fishing. Now I can tell by some of your expressions that there's some doubters out there. So I brought pictorial evidence. Here you see, this is the last one right here. Bullet holes in the halibut. Very happy fisherman. Thank you.